This is our service management business case. I'm Hannah.
I'm Tom.
I'm Nemanja.
I'm Mateusz. So for our task that was set for us is that we were brought in as an external IT consultant to help towards implementing an ITIL-based solution in an area within the university. The area that we had to choose must add value to what's already being offered, or could be a completely new service. We had to discuss this within our groups and with our tutor to make sure that the area we were aiming for was appropriate to do.
In answer to the proposal put forward, we discovered that there was an issue area within the university based on the TAP-NN attendance system used by students. Examples of the issues we found were as follows. The TAP-NN system didn't register a TAP, the student lost their student card, or didn't have them on them. The students knew it didn't work, so it wouldn't tap. In response to this, our proposal is to integrate a new student identification mobile application, which would use an NFC system to enroll students into each lecture.
The main objective that the business plan has set out to achieve is to be able to register that students are there for their lectures, and then the secondary objectives for this business plan would be being able to record what items a student borrows from the university, the ability to top up money onto the application and pay for printing using the application, the possibility of being able to put money on the application and using it within the university at the canteen or any of the stores, and the possibility of implementing the card system for the car park.
After we've come up with our idea that we were going to follow, we need to complete initial research to make sure what we were aiming for. So we completed an online questionnaire and sent as many students as possible. We had a total of 35 responses. Here are some snippets that we have from our questionnaire. So we discovered that only 69% of students always carry their ID card on them, so they're able to tap into the lectures. Only 43% of students actually tap into their lectures. 29% of the students just don't see the point and never tap in. And 26% of the students that have tapped into lectures have found out later on that they just didn't register the attendance and never registered when they tapped in. But we also found out that 98% of the students always carry their mobile phone with them in lectures around the university. 49% of them believe that if the student ID was in the form of an app, possibly on their phone, then they would use it more. And a further 69% of students that were asked also said yes, that they would use the identification more if it was linked to other services such as the library or even payment in accounts.
So for the feasibility, which is the ease of introducing our system, we believe the introduction of our new system would be best to be done now. Therefore, this is as they're bringing in the new campus Waterside for 2018. It means we wouldn't have to replace the old system and spend extra money on replacing that old system, as we'd only have to introduce it into the new building. We also believe that the students believe that it would be easy to introduce, as they all like the idea of using NFC and using the app. So therefore, we wouldn't have to go through a long system of teaching the students what to do. And for the lecturers, it would be ideal to introduce it into the lectures for them. So they'd have to reduce the amount of time spent taking paper registers. Adding additional aspects to the application as well, we believe would be possible, as NFC is already used within the library on printers. However, not many people use it, and also cashless and tapping contactless payments are used already in the canteen and cafe. The key benefits of this system, bringing it into university, would be the main advantage would be the University of Northampton will achieve their vision of being on top of technology. It would also bring in, for lecturers, it would be a great advantage for them, as they no longer need to use manual registers. And so therefore it would save a lot of time in lectures, and it would increase students and the accuracy of the attendance from students. For user advantages for students, they have no card to worry about. There's no need to carry cash. There's only one application that they will be using for everything. Also, it will save a lot of time for people like the librarians and the people in the canteen.
The constraints. The agreed date for this application to go live is September 2018, when the new campus opens. so there is little room for error on the creator's and installation behalf. There will be enough money in the budget to implement the new system, bearing in mind the amount of money being spent on Waterside campus. All laws and regulations must be followed and not broken in the creating of the application. This is to improve the university, so it must comply to the requirements of the stakeholders. The risk tolerance is the risk willing to be able to take in to introduce this new system.
The risk that we would come across, possibly largely the main one, is data protection. When passing the information between the creators of the web application and from the university, we have to take in the 1998 Data Protection Act. We have to make sure that information is passed efficiently and correctly and in safe way. And largely that we have to think about that little information about the user is placed into the mobile application, as we don't want anyone else from the outside being able to access it. Another one is fraud. The possibility of students just giving their phone to someone else to tap them into lessons is there. But for the use of biometrics, which is on most up-to-date phones, could be used to stop this, such as using contactless cards on phones. Also, the possibility in the future of adding the extra feature of using money onto the app may deter students from handing over their phones to fellow students, as they wouldn't want to lose their money. The measurement criteria that we came up with for this was that to make sure that this business case and what we're putting forward does actually improve the university. So we came up with criteria such as in lectures, students must be able to tap in 10 to 15 seconds, otherwise it's pointless and we could use a paper register. In the library, the mobile application should halve the time it takes to log onto a printer and print. In the canteen and cafe, at peak times, it should shorten the queues by a third. And finally, the librarians at the end of the night, their locking up time should be reduced by half an hour, as they no longer have to deal with petty cash.
Timeline for the business analysis, this should take 3 to 4 weeks. The system analysis should take another 3 to 4 weeks. The development of the application should take around 3 months. The testing will take 3 to 4 weeks, but this would be implemented at different week times. The training of the application would take 2 weeks, and then the service transition should take another 2 to 3 weeks.
So there are 4 types of costs we consider. First one being development costs. Those costs are mainly with highly skilled technicians who will be able to manage the development process and in the end make the application. Additionally, we will need a graphic designer, translators, technicians, and creators. On the basis of initial batch draft, the overall development cost will be estimated at 37,000, but it's possible to change in situations of major issues. Second cost would be implementation costs. These are primarily with making the application compatible with mobile phones and the system, and expect this cost at 10,000 pounds. Hardware installation is important to ensure that the electronic reader installed are fully operating and have no problems. We estimate the cost of the installation at about 8,000 pounds, and the maintenance cost will be involved with maintaining the scanning system on a regular basis through system checks, server updates, and other issues. We estimate this to be around 2,000 pounds an hour.
There are some contractual, legal, and supply issues that we have to deal with. So within the university, we have to come up with object level agreements and contracts between the IT departments and HR departments to ensure that information such as the IT department being our first point of call for issues and the time frame in which they must resolve these issues. So we need the internal contracts, and we also need external contracts and service level agreements. So with, for example, the mobile web application creators, as they need to have a timeline to create the project in, and there must be consequences for if this is late, and so these would be put into the contract. And later on, as we future develop this web application, we'd have to have further contracts with external companies such as Uno, Apple, banks, and other people.
So at first it will be just